Why GM LS engines are better than their LT engines. The LS engine has been a popular swap option for vintage vehicles and trucks for the past 24 years, and it doesn't seem like that will change anytime soon. Performance fans who desire modern drivability in their hot rods choose this power plant because it has demonstrated its adaptability and performance potential over the years. But now that GM has included the LT engine in its more recent vehicles, we have another choice for a modern engine change. But before we debate whether the LT is a superior platform to the LS, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button for more videos. You're now watching The Rundown on Road Rage Garage. Okay, there are several distinctions between the two popular plants, like how the LT's direct injection is significantly different from the LS's fuel system. But first, let's list a few things to help determine the quality of both engines before determining which one is better. Let's start with the block. The only method to find an iron block is to locate a 6.6-liter engine from GM's HD truck series because the LT blocks are entirely made of aluminum. Block strength varies as well. According to Auto Guild, the LS aluminum engines are good for about 700 horsepower, while the iron blocks rated at 1,000. But that hasn't stopped car enthusiasts from pushing stock bottom-end L8T iron block upwards of 1,200 horsepower. It is also likely to see stock aluminum block pushed to 900 horses. A big part of this is due to the LT's new gusseted water jackets and deck. The LT, in contrast to the LS, also features 8 oil sprayers that mist the bottoms of the pistons, enabling a cooler combustion, higher compression, and decreased friction, all of which lead to more power. It also features forged rods with a better design that connects to a forged crankshaft. Next up are the Valvetrain and heads. As you might expect, the direct injection has also required a revision of the cylinder heads. When compared to the LS, GM also reversed the intake and exhaust valves. This modification increases engine efficiency by enhancing cylinder head flow and placing the spark plugs in a better position for improved combustion. The head bolts were also lengthened by GM, going from 11mm on the LS to 12mm on the LT. Additionally, the rocker ratio was changed from 1.7 to 1.8. Additionally, the engineers chose to use a much larger camshaft in the LT, resulting in smoother valve action and less strain on the Valvetrain, which leads us to VVT, the thing all LS swap guys hate. Variable valve train, or VVT, was featured in several LS engines, but has been upgraded in the all-new LT. For unfamiliar people, VVT is a technology that regulates air and fuel intake. Depending on how the automobile is used, the mechanism enables the engine to provide higher fuel efficiency and a marginally smaller carbon impact. This can be a blessing for a thirsty, high-displacement V8. The LT's ECM also constantly attempts to improve the unit's performance by adjusting the timing. These modifications enable the Gen 5 engine to produce significant torque while maintaining good horsepower at high RPM. Compared to the LS's adjustment of only 20 degrees, the new cam phaser's ability to change the camshaft's angle by 62 degrees is noteworthy. Dynamic fuel management, active fuel management, AFM, new exhaust manifolds, 2.9 million lines of code controlling the engine, a new intake manifold, a dual-stage oil pump for more power, positive crankcase ventilation, and 87mm throttle body, an air induction humidity sensor, and an integrated stop-start system are some additional modifications for the LS platform. Even though the LT has significant design upgrades over the LS, it lacks factory-installed flex fuel capability. With all of these changes, is the LT truly better? The updated LT1 offers more when it comes to pure power per liter. The recent V8 can produce about 30 more horsepower in the same RPM range. This will be crucial if you want to increase capacity without using too much forced induction. But the Gen 5 LT's younger age is one of its significant drawbacks. There are fewer aftermarket parts available for the LT than for the LS. Manufacturers are catching up though, and this is gradually changing. The LT1 has a higher compression ratio compared to the LS3, which means the latter's components are put under higher stress, which increases the likelihood of engine knock if something goes wrong. However, there are still benefits to higher compression ratios. This enables the engine to produce higher torque and horsepower. It also offers improved combustion efficiency. When coupled with VVT, this could imply that the LT1 is more fuel efficient than the LS3. Yet all of this does not hinder the LS's popularity. The LS V8 engine family still holds the title of the king of engine swaps. If you stay at a car meet for more than 15 minutes, you'll undoubtedly see many vehicles with an LS swap. It may be in a vintage muscle car, a contemporary import vehicle, or anything. I've seen several wild LS-swapped Honda S2000s, Toyota Supras, and radical RWD Honda Civics. I'd say it's safe to compare the LS to the Honda Civic of engine swaps. You ask how? They've been around for a while, are reasonably priced, and have an immense number of aftermarket components. Depending on the application, you can get iron or aluminum blocks and various displacements and power levels. But someday, this king of engine swaps will lose popularity as technology develops, won't it? The LT engine family would be the natural next step after the LS, although that is yet to be determined. GM created the LT to replace the LS in its vehicles and assist the firm in adhering to ever tighter emissions and fuel economy rules. Compared to their LS sisters, these engines are newer, more sophisticated, and far more fuel efficient. But all of these improvements come at a price. They are more expensive. Let's examine these two engine families in more detail before talking about how to choose the best one for you or your customer's construction. The LS V8 engine is still king. Let's examine the advantages and disadvantages of the LS engine family. Pros. Both new and second-hand LS engines are readily available and reasonably priced. Exceptional aftermarket parts support. Their main cap is rigid and made of 6 bolts. Stronger due to the skirting block shape. Carbon buildup on the intake valves is not common with port fuel injection. Iron and aluminum alloys were used in the construction of engine blocks. Cons. Above 6,000 RPM, the stock oil pump can cavitate. The ability to minimize windage using more traditional methods is constrained by the skirted block design. Modern direct injection systems are more efficient than pot fuel injection. Systems for fuel management or displacement on demand aren't known for being dependable or long-lasting. Although they were available, variable valve timing systems had a small range of camshaft adjustment, typically around 20 degrees. There are simply too many LS engines and parts on the market. The powerful LS has been at the top of the food chain for many years. Thanks to its widespread use, adaptability, and capacity for great power, it has surpassed every other platform. The LS is still the most common swap from our standpoint, with the main reason being the availability of the components and operating system. Let's look over why the LT engine is on the rise. Let's start with some advantages of the LT engine family. Pros. Main cap with rigid 6-bolt design, like LS engines. Exceptional aftermarket parts support. Except for 6.6-liter HD truck engines, LT blocks are made entirely of aluminum, and because of their gusseted water jackets, they are more durable than LS blocks. 8 oil sprayers are located on the engine block, and they spray the piston's bottoms with oil. This allows for a cooler combustion process, higher compression, reduced friction, and more power. Improved economy and power are provided via direct fuel injection. LS intake and exhaust valve positions were reversed for the best positioning of the direct injectors. The upgraded and continuously operating variable valve timing system adjusts the timing for maximum effectiveness and efficiency. Camshaft adjustment range increased to 62 degrees. Cons. LT engines often cost more than LS engines. Although it is improving, aftermarket part support still trails behind the LS. Because some vehicles use direct injection and don't have a belt-driven power steering pump, installation may be more difficult in those vehicles. Not immediately flex fuel ready, it's not coincidental that the LT's pros list is lengthier, if you noticed. This is the outcome of more sophisticated engine design and technology. The newest and best GM V8 on the market has advanced above the previous model, but there is a higher price for all of this. The LT has several benefits over the LS, but also drawbacks. The LS may be easily customized to fit any car, has complete aftermarket support and is still reasonably priced. Due to direct injection and the absence of a power steering pump, the LT engines are more expensive, have less aftermarket support, and are more difficult to install in an older vehicle. Whatever platform you decide on, you will still be far more technologically advanced than the Gen 1 and Gen 2 small block Chevys. Well, that's it for today, folks. See you in the next episode of The Rundown. Until then, ring the bell icon to receive the latest updates and hit that subscribe button. See ya.